Hello, this is NixOS Discovery, and today I'd like to put some music on. Yeah, because François Chopin is, or Frédéric Franciszek Chopin, as one of my Polish friend would say from the academy. Well, he's of course he's a wonderful and one of the best composers who ever lived, but more so, just as we like NixOS, which is an incredible operating system, I guess, way of managing complexity in such a way. Chopin is a composer who manages complexity in a wonderfully lucid and simple and yet complex way. Yeah, I'm not trying. I'm kind of trying to sound smart, but no, I'm not trying. But it's just, I guess that, happens when you have Chopin in the background, and then you feel like a poet and you just start talking. So let's move on with the option dependencies. Options.nix. I think this is a prelude. Is this a prelude or the nocturne? I think it's a nocturne. It's a nocturne, yeah. Marche Funèbre. Oh, there is a playlist. This is a copyright free, so I hope YouTube will not, ban my video. Okay, so the options.nix. Well, let's open the console. Is it already open? Yes, it is. So I want to try something. Djacu is now introducing a more complex option.nix. And as we can see, it has a, like the arguments are declared. And I want to touch upon also something. Every time when I read the code, especially now when I'm commenting a lot, I've noticed, and this kind of relates when we're listening to the Chopin. This kind of relates to the idea of fingering. Now, when I say fingering, I mean the movements of the fingers, how they, play the piece on a particular instrument, such as, let's say, guitar or a piano. Guitar, for example, can have a very complex fingerings just because, well, the same tone on one string you can play on more places on a different string. For example, the tone E you can play on the second string, on the first string, on the third string, on the fourth string, on the fifth string. So this introduces a whole another layer of complexity, right? When you have a complex chord meaning like why am I going now into music theory? That's because of Chopin. Yes, my actually background is in music. I studied classical music and guitar. So when you have a complex chord on the guitar, there are several ways you could play it. And this, the more context you have, the more, meaning it has, and then you kind of adapt the fingerings. But I don't know, I thought that like this relates to when you're reading a code like libconfig. I mean, I'm saying it out loud, but what do I mean by this? Like, how do I run this in my head? I want to run this in my head like really minimally. And you see, like, how would you actually read this the shortest way possible using a functional language? In a functional programming language like Nix, you can refactor and simplify the structure by utilizing higher order functions to read and define options dynamically based on fields you can structurally. Oh no, he's doing now again. Oh, nice. The fields map This is one of the shortest and most functional ways to accomplish your goal. Yeah, okay, then I'll get back to this, but how do you actually read this? libconfig, the arguments. So the options.nix is a function. I guess, yeah, it's a module, but we could say it's a function that takes a libconfig and an extra, any number of extra arguments. That will be the first part of the function, actually of this module of the function. And then we have a let config is config. You see config is config. Config means config or what? I'm not sure what to say. Config. This is a great part because it's so tense and yet slow and noble, I guess. Yeah, okay, how do you actually just read this part? Like, is it CFG is equal to config, or CFG means config, or what? I mean, this might, I've never seen, you know, streamers and stuff. I mean, people who code like really go this way. Like, how do you say it? They actually just say it, you know. But it's kind of a couple of times when I started some kind of online discussion about how do you pronounce some things, like bind a value. Yeah, like bind a value or assign a value. It's a whole, I mean, it's simple, but then people come in and everyone says something a bit different. The variable CFG is being assigned to the value of config. This creates a shorthand or alias showing you alias. What was the alias? Allowing you to use CFG instead of repeatedly typing config. CFG means the same thing as config, yes, within the scope. After this line, whenever you reference CFG, it's exactly as your, okay, yeah. CFG is a shorthand. Yes, but I mean, how do you read it as code? The variable CFG is being assigned the value of config. But then can you use bind instead of assign? In Nix, you cannot directly use bind in the same way as some functional. Yeah, but for example, in like in Nix, you know, manual or something, Elko writes to bind a value, and then somewhere it's written like to assign, and okay. That they have explicit bind or monad constructs. Oh, now this is bind in the context of monad. Nix uses let bindings. You see bindings to assign values to variables, similar how binding works in functional languages. When you write CFG config, you're using a let binding, which is simply assigning a value to a variable. So config is a value to a variable CFG in the scope of the let expression. But config is also like a variable. So, but config is also a variable. You're correct. Both config are both. Here's how it works. From outside. Config is a variable that is passed into the function from outside. It represents a value or structure. CFG config, this line creates a new variable CFG and assigns it the value of config. The variable CFG is assigned to, after this assignment, CFG is just another name, alias for config. Essentially, CFG is a shorthand that you can use to refer to the same value that config holds. Both CFG and config are variables, but by using CFG, you avoid typing the longer config repeatedly. Why use CFG? Okay. The thing I have a problem. No, I don't have a problem, but look at this. Name libmk option type. Type libtype string. title libmk option, type libtype string, origin libmk option, type libtype string, greeting libmk option, type libtype string, config greeting, hello, my name is CFG name, I am CFG title, I'm from CFG origin. So as you can see, we have added config to the function arguments to the options Nix module. We have also declared, let's see our options Nix. So we don't have much here, right? We have a lib, a config. So we would like add here config. Oh, we have to add like a comma here. And yeah, he's writing it like this. Let's just do it like, I see, options. Well, let, wow, let's see, left CFG equal is config and yeah, the way he's doing it like this. Yeah, like this. And even this thing is here, libconfig. And then the let, you see all this, and the CFG is here. Okay, and the in is here. It's funny, I thought like let and in would be in the same column. And this thing is now here, options, okay. Let config in options. You have a name libmk option and type libtype string. I guess with you know, Helix could copy this thing out, but that's not the point, right? So we have an option, and for example, let's add libmk option options. Okay, we could add like title, right? Title, and now the same thing, mk option, and type is libtypes string, right? Is the same thing. So then you would have origin libmk option. Well, I think it's good to type this thing out, you know. String. Now comes the really nice part. Origin, and then we have a greeting, libmk option, and then we have a type. This is the second movement from Chopin's B minor sonata. That's a really long piece also. This movement is like 10 minutes or something, 15 minutes. It's a beautiful. It's like hope. So here we have again libtypes string, right? Origin, title, name. So name, title, origin, and greeting. So we're basically done, right? Type. Yeah, I guess here now. Oh, here now comes the config. What's the config? Yeah, the config is what? Greeting. And then we have a double quote, but like a single double quote. I don't know how you pronounce that. We have a hello. I see my name. My name is what? And now we have again that $, CFG name, and a dot. I am a $, CFG dot title. and then I am from $CFG origin. Again, dot, double quote. You see, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of typing. It's a lot of typing. And then a semicolon. So this should work. As you can see, we have added config. Not sure what will happen if we just like, can we run error, experimental. The option title was accessed but has no value defined. Try setting an option. Oh yes, we didn't put any values in the config. Right. As we have added config to the function arguments of the options Nix, we have also declared name, title, and origin, which are all string types. Those will be our inputs that we will configure. We have also declared an option, greeting, which is also a string type. In the same file, we have defined its value using the final configuration values of the other options, but has no value. Yeah. The line. Oh yeah, this is thing that I was looking at before. I said the line CFG is config is not strictly necessary. We could have used the config argument wherever CFG was used. However, it does help mentally separate the idea of the config argument and the config attribute. If you explore the NixOS modules, you will find more interesting examples of this pattern. Yeah, the config argument is not the same as the config attribute. What does this mean? The config argument holds the result of the module system's lazy evaluation, which takes into account all modules passed to the eval modules and their imports. Okay, the config attribute of a model exposes that particular module's option values to the module system for evaluation. Yeah, I guess attribute like comes before the argument, you know. So now we just set values for name, title, and origin in the config.nix like we have done before. So yeah, we don't have the. All right, we're going to do this now. Let's do it the hard way. We have a name. I forgot my helix. Name, title, autonomous underwater vehicle. Autonomous underwater vehicle. Origin, England. Okay, that's fine. Will it? We have a broken pipe. What does that mean? Set up an eval Nix to evaluate our modules and return the config error. Let's check our eval. Options and config. Create a run as H to evaluate. Import. Well, it looks like it's fine. No, let's check import JSON Djacu. And if we run the script, we have our configuration. Well, it looks like we did I did a mistake. I didn't. You see, I retyped something. Let's try again. Broken pipe. Error writing to a file. Broken pipe. Error experimental Nix features flakes is disabled. Why does it say it's disabled? I enabled it. How to check if flakes? Is there a command to check if Flakes is enabled? Oh. Nix show config. Nix show config. Where's the... Well, the grab experimental features Nix command. What about Flakes? But I've enabled it, like sudo x. Let's see. Let's see. Where's the Nix? Look at it. Look at it. Flakes. What's up with this? It's Flakes. Experimental features. Enable Flakes. What does... Nix command Flakes. Flakes. Well, this is interesting. Let's try to rebuild. Oh, I just have a message. So let's continue. Will it work now? Oh, now it's working. This happened the last time. And I switched. I did a NixOS rebuild switch. But why did I do it again now? Not sure. It's almost like if I did a rollback or something. This is the C# minor prelude. And the greeting, hello, my name is Boaty McBoatface. Name, origin, title. Wonderful. Now, the thing about this, where is it? So I've checked with ChatGPT, because it's the options. It's just options. There's so much repetition, right? libmk option is 3 times, libtypestring 3 times, 4 times. So is there a better way to type this, to write this, and they at least learn some, some functional structuring. I don't know how you call it. So what did ChatGPT say? In functional programming language, you can refactor and simplify the structure by utilizing high-order functions and abstractions. Yeah, this is probably we're gonna map it to something, to a field. To read and define options dynamically based on a list of fields, you could implement a structure like this. A list of fields. The moment you say this, it already sounds better. Let CFG config define a list of field names. I like this. Come on, this is nice. Will this work actually? Let's rename this options Nix to options buck. Well, options Nix buck. And let's make a new one. No. Let's make a new one, options Nix. Right? So here we have a what? Define a list of field names. Now we are abstracting the name, title, and origin and greeting and putting it in the fields variable. And then we're going to map over the field names to generate options dynamically. MK options, built-in list to attributes. Map, field, name, field, value, libmk option type, libtype string, fields. I like this. In options, MK options. Config, greeting, hello, my name is. So will this thing work? Let's see. It does work and it looks much better. But can I repeat this? No, I cannot. Can we make a simpler version with a field like numbers? This is what I end up doing with ChatGPT. Okay, let's take this code. All right. Let's take this code and make a simpler example. How do you make a simpler example, right? Make an example with numbers. So the field, maybe a field could be what? We could square numbers and then give them values. Maybe like adding squares of numbers, the sum of squares. Maybe like sum of squares. Maybe like sum of squares. And then, so that would be the field. And then giving it 4 numbers to sum of square. Calculating sum of squares dynamically will modify the concept of the fields. Instead of using string options like name, title, we'll create fields for numbers and then use a function to compute the sum of their squares. Here's an example where we have 4 numbers and calculate their sum of squares. libconfig let config. Yeah, but we don't have the values. So this is not so simple to try out. There's much typing. libconfig let config cfg config does the same. Define a list of number field names. Number fields num1, num2, num3, num4. Okay. Map over the number fields to generate options for each number. MK number options, built-in list to attributes. Map field, name field. Value libmk option, type libtype int, default 0. Yes, I could now go and type this, but this will not work. List to address. Let's check this list to address. And then I'll move on with the tutorial because I feel built-in functions, list to attribute set, help. Okay, someone is looking for help. I'm just starting with Nix and I can't seem to find how approach to converting a list of L, foo x bar y to attribute set. I'm trying to populate email accounts. Oh, in Home Manager, and this is what I have tried so far. I see this is a real example. Let's servers, Proton Mail, IMAP, host, port, TLS enable, TLS use starts, TLS, SMPT. But it gives me error. This is the answer. Built-in list to address, map xy, value name, inherit value. Yeah. I guess maybe that's too much to, do a rabbit hole on all this. Let's see, just can you give me Destructuring. Built-in's list to address. This function converts a list of attribute sets where each set contains at least a name attribute. This function converts a list of attribute sets into an attribute set, dictionary-like structure. Oh, so it takes a list of sets and makes it a set. It's a list to address. This function is used to apply a transformation to each element in a list. Alright, destructuring with x, y. Maybe this is too loud. Let's see. Is it loud? Not really. Let's say you have a list of attribute sets where each set has two fields. You have a list of attribute sets. So I have a collection of sets or a list of sets, and each of those sets has two fields, x and y. All right? And you want to transform this into an attribute set where x is used as the key and the whole set is the value. What does this mean with the x and y? Where's the y? So input list is, we have three sets here. X, A, Y1, XB, Y2, XC, Y3. Okay, Y is the value. So transform the input list into an attribute set using list to address. Result built-in's list to address. Map XY value, name, x, inherit value, input list, and result. Yeah, this is, I don't understand. I mean, I understand this. I understand what's going on, like conceptually, but I wouldn't be able to like juggle with it. Input list, this is a list of attribute sets, yes, where each set has two fields, x and y. For example, the first set is xa, y1. Now, this is the thing, map. And we have here a parenthesis. So there is a map something to an input list. So we have these are the main three parts of this. So we have the input list. Those are the three sets with an x and a y. And this is the mapping transformation. And this is the map function. This applies a transformation to each element in the list. X and y at value. So this may be at value. Destructures the input into x and y while keeping the whole value as value. This is not clear. What do you mean while keeping the whole value as value? At. I guess this at is not clear. All right. Name x inherit value. Creates a new attribute set where name is x. And value is the whole original set. Not clear. Built-in's list to attributes converts the transform list into an attribute set using x as the keys and the original sets as values. See, the output of the above next expression will be A, X, A, Y1, B, X, B, Y2, C, summary. Okay, for me, this is confusing. This is confusing. All right. I don't understand this part. And how is keeping the whole value as value? And why the, where's the thing? And why did let me clarify the usage of x, y value and what is. The syntax is called pattern matching, although this is pattern matching in Nix. And it allows you to break down a set, which is like a dictionary, a map into individual parts, while also keeping the entire set. So XY is destructuring the set by extracting the fields X and Y. This is the pattern matching. Okay. okay, so this monkey symbol, I'm not sure how you read it in Nix. The @ symbol allows you to keep the whole original set, which includes both x and y, as a separate variable called value in this case. So x and y at value means extract the fields x and y from a set. Also bind the whole set to the variable value. Why use? The @ symbol is used to capture the entire set while simultaneously destructuring it. This is useful when you want to access individual fields like x and y, still keep the whole original set in case you need to work with it later. Basic example. Okay, my set, x is foo, y is bar, and z is 1, 2, 3. All right, that's a my set. So destructed the set with that. Destructured x, y at whole set. Part x, x. We extract x from the set. That's a foo. Part y, y. We extract y from the set. That's a bar. Original whole set. But we also keep the entire original set as whole set. So what if I don't want to keep it in destructured? Original x, foo, bar, and z. Destructures each item in input list, grabbing the fields x and y from each set. At the same time, it captures the entire set as value. The resulting set for each element. But what are, okay, it's not clear. What are the practical examples of capturing the entire set that one destructures? Capturing the entire set with structuring its amino fields is useful in many practical scenarios. Below are some common examples where this technique comes in handy: logging and debugging. When debugging, you might want to extract certain fields for logic, but still keep the entire original data for logging or inspecting. Person name Alice, age 30, city Pula. Oh, Pula. Oh, interesting. I live in Pula. He added my town. And there was an error. Login info. Name, age, whole person. Use some fields in logic. Message processing plus name, age plus toString age. Log the whole data set for debugging. Original data, whole person. Practically, you extract the name and age for processing, but also keep whole person so you can log or inspect the full original data. Pass partial data to functions. You might extract some fields to work with them directly, but need to pass the full set, which may contain more than just those fields, to another function. Name Bob, age 25, city New York. That's a person. Okay, let process person, name, age, at whole person. Summary, name plus is toString age plus years old. Pass the whole set for further processing, forward data. Overriding fields. Oh, default settings. Maybe this makes more sense. Default settings. Yeah, this is kind of wow. Need to make a pause. Just default settings. Yeah. Maybe this is something that we can relate to. Default settings. Right, I have a light theme, I have a font size, and I have a language. Apply settings. Theme, font size at all settings. Override defaults, but retain the entire set for future use. Final theme, if theme, then dark, else theme. Retained original all settings. Apply settings. You extract theme and font size to override defaults, but keep the original default settings in case you need to use fields like language later. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll move on with the tutorial because this is something that needs to, I guess needs a bit of time and understanding. So, set up an eval Nix. I need to see, set up an eval Nix to validate our modules. Create a run script. We did this. And we run the script. We have our configuration. We did this. Notice that he gave us the entire configuration, which is to be expected. What if we just want greeting? What if we just want greeting? We can specify to only return the greeting attribute in our new eval greeting Nix file. Config greeting. Oh, this is... Yeah, I'll continue, but this is interesting. Okay, this was like a side track with this refactoring. But this is interesting. It's config and greeting. Where's the eval? Eval.nix. We have a config. So if I add greeting, and now we go run sh. Hello, my name is Booty McBoatface. I'm an autonomous underwater vehicle. I'm from England. What happened? Eval greeting. Eval. In our new eval greeting Nix. Not sure how you delete it. Yeah, we can specify. To only return the greeting attribute in our new eval greeting Nix file. Eval greeting. But what's the difference between config? Okay. We have run sh. We have a greeting, name, origin, and title, right? But if we have a new greeting, okay, let's copy. Yeah, let's copy the eval.nix into what did he name it? Run greeting sh. No, update our script. Made a new script, eval greeting Nix. Eval greeting Nix. And then let's do eval greeting Nix. So do greeting. And now we're gonna cp run sh to what? Run greeting sh. Okay, greeting sh. And then we need to update the run greeting. Ah, yes. Okay. Eval.nix. Eval greeting. So when we do now run sh, all right, and let's do run greeting sh. Yeah, and if we run the new script, run greeting sh, we have just the configuration of greeting. Hello? Yeah, but we didn't get this. Confusing, right? Like the music. Splitting modules. Yeah, not sure. What if we... Greeting. Oh, just the greeting. But we didn't get this. What if we have just the name? Let's try to make a copy. Eval nix. And copy it to evalname.nix. Alright, and let's copy run sh to run name sh. And now open eval. It's a lot of typing, right? Evalname.nix. Okay, evalname.nix, and let's do name. And let's do run name sh and name. Okay. Now, if we do the run name.sh, we get Booty McBoatface. All right. But it's first is config. One of my cats really likes plastic bags. Yeah. Now the next, the next thing is splitting modules. This kind of makes sense. How are we with time? 47 minutes. What's the time? I guess that could be enough for now. Yeah, that'll be enough for now. Well, it's interesting. It's very slow. This is very slow. I don't think anyone is even watching this. If you're watching this, boo! No. Okay. I'm just trying to make like a funny face because no one is watching. All right. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed, whoever watched. But it's interesting. It's just painfully slow. But it's not painful. It's fun. It's fun. I think it's painful because, you know, we have all this expectation and kind of goals and stuff. But if you, I don't know, if you really go deep and you can find things like this, you know, and wait, what's this? What's this? You know, why am I stopping here? Maybe this is not, so you try to, maybe this is running in circles or not. Well, maybe you can, you know, comment if you think this is a, someone commented on one of the videos that it's garbage. Then someone commented that it's really great. So, you know, who knows? Definitely this is the way I learn. And yeah, I find it also beneficial. So I kind of, and there have been examples of this, like the Nix, someone made like a huge blog. I forgot, Ian Henry, I think. Ian Henry, yeah, I think Ian Henry. Wait, I even have it. Ian the Henry. This guy. Yeah, he made this huge Nix. Reading the Nix manual. Yeah, look at this. Nix pills. So he kind of was commenting it out, and it's really long, and he comments like the whole, every word and everything. So that was kind of inspiring to read, you know. So people are doing these things. Next, quick starts, full hearts. So I then noticed that everything seems to use the old style. One of the reasons I was, so he really goes like slow and smooth. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to do something else now. All right, it was great fun. Let's continue next time with splitting modules. Bye-bye.